Welcome. Today I'm going to do something I very, very rarely do. I'm going to do a review for a video game. I don't play many video games. I don't have a lot of time. But one of the game systems I like is actually Oculus Quest. I like it standalone and with my PC. Specifically, I like to play flight simulators, but I also like games like Beat Saber. I think they're a lot of fun. And one of the games, the type of games that I think is perfect for this type of system that you don't see kind of made anymore are the late 90s rail shooter games. The games like Virtua Cop, House of the Dead, Time Crisis, and so forth and so on. I actually used to have a Time Crisis 2 in my house because I used to love to play it after work. I would go to a bar and play it, and then 10, 20 years later I bought one. But it was so big and taking up so much space I eventually sold it. I really love those games, and the first time I ever put on a Quest, they had a little introduction kind of game, and one of the things was like a little shooter, a little space shooter. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. This is a perfect setup for those rail shooters, for those light gun games like House of the Dead. And I looked around and I couldn't find any. There's all kinds of first-person shooters and all that, but nothing quite like the rail shooters that are simple and you can just play and have fun. And they don't take forever and you don't have to move around too much. And so I was always like, why don't they have any of these? And just yesterday, I was reading something, I don't remember, and I saw this review of this new game that just came out for the Quest 2. I guess you could get it on it before, side loading and with Steam and all that. But it was called Crisis Brigade 2, and they made the mention that it's very much like Time Crisis. And I love Time Crisis, especially Time Crisis 2. So I figured, I went online and I saw it was only $14.99 full price. I'm like, I'm picking that up. And I was not disappointed. It is very much in the spirit of Time Crisis. And it's just very, very fun. So let's load it up and see. This is the intro screen. It gives you a couple tips as it loads. And one of the interesting things about this game is, one of the tips I got, the first tip I got was like, don't be Rambo. And it's true. You unlike a lot of games where you can get hit all the time, you get hit once and that's a life, and you get 3 lives and that's it. So you have to be very careful with your movement. You can't just go up and, just blast away. You have to actually hide. And like Time Crisis, you have to reload. You have to reload your weapon. And you have to do it manually, just like you would, just very much like a real gun. You have to check the magazine, pick up a new magazine, load it in the gun, and click back to slide. Now, one of the neat things they have is a shooting range so you can practice. And one of the things I liked about the shooting range here, besides good ear health, they have a pair of fake ears for you to put on. You can slide the targets back and forth. I found that the actual targeting was very, very realistic. If you've ever shot a pistol, you'll notice it is not easy. It is not easy to shoot something even 20 feet in front of you. Contrary to, popular media and all that in movies, it is not easy. You really have to aim the targeting dots and kind of fuzz your eyes and line them up with the target. And you have to be very careful and pull slowly, not jerk your hand. And it's very hard to actually shoot something accurately, even when not stressed. When you're just at a range, it's not easy. So you can see here I was actually trying and I shot well. Much better than I would really shoot in real life. Because again, it is not easy. But when you try to just pick up the gun and shoot like you would think it is to shoot, you'll see you don't hit anything. And I also tried shooting just without really lining it up, just once I had it on, just kind of pulling the trigger and not keeping things lined up and not keeping good hand positioning. And you could see it would go off by 6 inches, 10 inches on each pull, and that's very much like it is if you ever shoot out at range. You can also use different guns there on the wall by shooting them. You have rifles to practice with. So let's play the game, and I've added another camera angle of me actually playing the game physically as you see it in the headset, so you can see me moving around. And just like Time Crisis, you have to duck so you don't get shot, but it's not just a pedal that you go to a preset position. You actually have to physically move yourself by ducking and moving. And you can crawl around things a little bit. So it's nice. It's like a rail shooter, except you actually get a little more movement. But it's not crazy movement where like a first-person shooter. It's still like a real game. Also, you are under some time limits. You have to win the level in 7 minutes, or you lose. So with that said, let's play the game.